area, you source materials from the area, and then at the same time,
And it controls inflation.
it control. Well, hopefully.
Because the transfer of goods and services is cheaper.
Exactly. Then you help the poorest sector of society, which is the farmers in agriculture, because they're able to transport their items. And remember, infrastructure is not limited to roads and bridges. You also have dams to provide irrigation. You have water entrapment facilities. You have post-harvest facilities. All these things, even telecommunication.
Yes, you mentioned
It's all
internet speed.
infra. Yes.
Yes.
Diba? Cell towers. The problem is, we piggyback on a particular outdated system when actually we can just pay for a provider to bounce off our signals. I'm sorry, I'm not a very technical person.
Seems like you are.
But something like, well, thank you. But another thing is, for telecommunication, to build a cell site or a cell tower in a particular locality, you need to get at least 15 permits of approval from the local governments. It takes forever. So your signal is poor.
That's right.
Yeah.
I understand that because one telco provider was interested to set up in a property that we have, and well, it was taking forever. I said, so we're not going to wait for you.
It takes long.
Yes.
It takes long, yeah.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you have not just a working grasp of the issues about economic and infrastructure, etc., but it seems like you've studied everything.
Not everything. Nobody has a monopoly of what's right and wrong, but I try to learn. The day you stop being a student is really the day I think that you are doomed for failure.
But I think a big challenge for any president, no? So I appreciate some of what President Aquino has done, even if I am a critic. But I'd also like to say that I think there has to be a balance, no? I think what Pinoy is good at is communicating his vision.
Yes,
no?
yes.
And that's why I agree that there was a wasted opportunity there, because he had enormous political capital working for him to not just pursue the reforms, in the bureaucracy, but actually build what needs to be built.
Yes.
I was talking to President Arroyo before. I said, his weakness, your weakness is his strength.
And vice versa, right?
Yes. So she was focused on economics and a vision, on building the country. But I think she failed to communicate her vision. So it was not translated into a language palatable to the general public. Do you think that you would be a combination of both?
Oh my gosh, well, I hope so. If ever. I mean, I'm a mother. I said, even if I hope that they don't, some people say, what is your experience that will bring you competency in this job? We have many different experiences. Even my education may bring this, my experience in the Senate, the MTRCB, although short. But I think being a teacher is also important.
Yes.
Because number one, you really have to study what you would like to implement, what you would like to communicate to the students. And then you have to be able to encourage them. Leadership is really not just about being intelligent or being effective. It's bringing people together towards this vision. And also it's empowering the people. In short, you're the leader, but not to make yourself powerful alone, but empowering people. What can you give them so that they will be productive, so that their standards of living will increase, things like that.
So it seems, for me, I'm very impressed at how you see leadership. It's more, it should be holistic. In a word, it should be holistic.
You should be competent and intelligent, but you should also be an inspiration.
But some of your critics, Secretary Mar said that you are hilaw. But let me just say this. Allow me to say this. How can I just feel that to say that you are hilaw?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Secretary Mar.
Easy.
No, I'm sorry, Secretary, but you're free to come to the show. But I think it's kind of ironic because it seems like an indictment against his endorser and the endorser's mother.
Oh,
because remember, President Aquino's mother, she was hilaw in a political sense because she was a housewife. Well, so when you say that it's wrong to be hilaw, you should look at the person endorsing you and the mother of the person endorsing you. I mean, that's just my idea.
Well, thank you for coming to my rescue there. But actually, okay lang ang manibalang eh. I think I'm more manibalang than hilaw. May halong tamis at asim. Okay na yun.
Kaysa naman lamog. Kaysa naman lamog.
Okay.
No, but President Obama, going back to that example, I was a critic of President Obama. My friend Ryan there knows that. We were critics in '08, but I would admit that I was
Who do you like now in the front runners?
I like Hillary.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with everything she stands for.
Say Hillary.
But I'm generally
How
for
about
Hillary.
Jeb Bush?
No.
No. Donald Trump.
For comic relief.
Yeah, di ba?
Ako na ini-interview.
No, just interested.
How about you?
Well, no, I mean, of course, Hillary, I think that she has the experience. Well, Jeb, I didn't, I heard him in some interviews. I think he's pretty okay. He's been, by the way, to the country a few times. I was surprised. When the time, an interim, when he wasn't in public office, he came to the Philippines.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
What I know lang is that he will have some edge because he speaks Spanish.
Oh, and his
wife is Latina. So that would probably get...
I know, what were they saying? Florida learned from the Philippine elections.
Oh my God.
Never mind. Di ba he was governor at that time?
Yes, he was governor. Okay.
Yeah, never mind. Let's skip that. Okay.
We'll be very controversial after
that.
No. You mentioned the Bureau of Customs earlier, no?
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yes, the balikbayan boxes.
Yeah.
It's all the rage. Everywhere on Facebook, people are talking about the balikbayan boxes, and the memes are just so hilarious.
Really? Share me one.
The meme, I can show you one here. They're really hilarious. But even if they're funny, the issue is really not funny at all.
No.
What's your take on?
I lived in the U.S., right? And simple joys that you want to send your family. Kahit na my parents, even if maybe it's available in the grocery, but to receive delata or like soap or...
And there's a different smell.
Iba yung amoy.
Open the smell of the balikbayan box. What is that?
Magkahalong shampoo at saka chocolate. I don't know.
It's so bango.
Di ba? Parang, okay. So, clean air. Anyway, so, lahat yan, parang sinasabi ko, ang babaw lang ng kaligayahan. 26 billion pesos is what the OFWs remit every year. In fact, there's a problem now with their terminal fees because it's bundled with their ticket fees. So they don't even get a refund for that when in reality they shouldn't be paying a terminal fee. So tapos biglang you're going to do this. Let me just ask a simple question. Do they even have enough manpower in the Bureau of Customs to inspect each and every box? Kaya nga sabi nila, hindi na raw hari ng padala eh.
On Facebook,
yari ang padala.
Yari ang padala.
Hindi na hari ang padala, yari ang padala. At saka hindi na pera padala. Pag nakialam pa ang customs dito, baka maging hindi na pera ang padala, pera ang padulas.
Padulas is like a...
Well,
it's a term for... I'm not familiar. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that's really one of the main issues now on social media.
So I'm actually submitting a resolution for a Senate inquiry. Hopefully we can have him in the Senate explaining why he's doing this. Yeah. Because I think it's easier to catch the bigger fish. I mean, easier in principle, because you can see their containers and mas madaling buksan yun kesa to open each and every box of those balikbayan boxes. And 10,000 pesos and above is already taxed. That's what they're trying to say. Can you imagine what are you going to do with a calculator? You're going to compute everything there? I just think it's another opportunity for corruption.
Yes. So what do you think about Senator Recto's proposal of X-rays?
I think that's good because it lessens human intervention.
Yes.
And we really ought to have that, even for security reasons, so that we know that what's going in our ports should be here, not trash. That's actually been kept in our ports since 2013. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard about that. There's just so many issues that affect us and that anger, the people. But before we pause for a break, I'd like to ask your thoughts on the SC's decision, the Supreme Court's decision
on Senator
Enrile's bail. We're back here on Open Mic. Senator Grace Poe was just about to answer a question about Senator Enrile's bail based on the decision of the Supreme Court that allows it.
Well, one thing is, we have to respect the courts for their decision. I don't think other branches of government should meddle in the decision. On the other hand, we also have to, it would be nice for an ordinary citizen to be able to understand the reason behind it. Because it can be very technical, very, diba, it's all legalistic. And somebody from the Supreme Court should be able to explain it in simple, understandable terms, why this is so. This is what I understand it to be. Apparently, if you're a senior citizen, whatever your crime is, and the penalty, they'll say the penalty is life imprisonment, it goes down one level. Okay. Parang they ease it a bit.
All right.
So in that case, if it's, let's say, non-bailable, it becomes bailable. Parang ganon na. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but this is how I understand it. But one thing is, we remember, he's 92 years old. Maybe politically for the government, I mean, for them to be responsible for him being there, something happens to him. But I think the court should be able to explain, because I don't think that many of our countrymen are convinced. Although for humanitarian reasons, you can probably say, yeah, that's fine. But when it comes to discussions in the Senate and political discourses and debates, he always brings something to the table, because he's kind of
JPE.
He's JPE, even with his stamina at his age, his bravado. I mean,
You're looking forward to having him there?
I don't think I would have had as much fulfillment passing the FOI in the Senate if I didn't debate with two people, Senator Enrile and Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. Because that's almost like your baptism of fire. I mean, somebody